a prolific tweeter of tweets.
I don't know yet.
Give it up for our buddy Rob George.
Good evening. Good evening. Wow, what a great looking audience we've got here. Well, thank you, Michelle, for that very interesting trip down memory lane on the Kennedy assassination. I will never think about the magic bullet theory quite the same way again. Let's see here. Heather, at the very beginning of tonight, talked about how she was sort of impressed with meeting Brian, who was both, a Republican and a comedian in New York. Well, if you thought that was a little bit unique, young Catholic, West Indian, Black Republican. Any others in the house? Funny, the earlier show, the place was packed with them. I'm sure they'll be back later. They're just on CWIERP time. The thing is, if there were more black people in here, that joke would have killed. Anyway, now it's true. I am a Black Republican, and some of you may have just assumed that by the way I'm dressed. Pinstripes, kind of the debate tie here, right? Flag on the lapel. No. I'm not dressed this way because I'm a Republican. No. Because, where you see a suit, black men in New York call the taxi cab opportunity enhancement device. Now, you may find this hard to believe, but I get a fair amount of abuse as a Republican in New York. People come up to me and say, how can you be a Republican? There's hardly any black people in the Republican Party. And it's true. There are almost as many black people in the Republican Party as there are in a comedy club in East Village. Right now. In fact, almost exactly the same amount. However, things are improving, I'm happy to say, very, very happy to say. For example, there are more black Republicans than there are black presidents. There are almost as many black Republicans as there have been presidents ever. Think about that one for a little bit. The other things people ask me about are, Robert, why do Republicans hate President Obama so much? And look, I can't speak for all Republicans. I'm not going to presume that. I can only speak for myself. See, Barack Obama is just a few years older than I am. He went to Columbia and then Harvard Law. He's married to a very beautiful woman. He's got 2 perfect kids. What isn't there to hate about this man? My God, if I hadn't been a Republican before, I would have, converted just to protest him. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Let's see. The president, of course, is in just a little bit of trouble lately. You guys have been paying attention to this whole POW swap thing. So, let me get this straight. The President of the United States decided to take 5 Taliban all-stars and trade them for 1 U.S. soldier who may be a deserter? Look, I know the President is a big basketball fan, but who's advising him, James Dolan? My God, this is the most one-sided trade since the Knicks got Carmelo Anthony. Speaking of somebody who's going to desert in the clutch, not too many Knicks fans here. Understandably so. Understandably so. Oh, goodness. So this is New York. It's New York in the summer, you know. This is the time of year when it's sort of like like sort of switcheroo Friday, where white people decide they want to be black. They're hanging out in the sun all the time. Now, they only go so far. I mean, they want to be sort of Beyonce Drake black, not quite Lupita Nyong'o black. It's funny, but it's true. Yes, that's exactly right. Meanwhile, black people, just want to be white, or white enough to help the NYPD miss when they start shooting at them. I know, too soon. Really too soon. Let's see. What else is going on? Brian asked this rather interesting question about how Bill de Blasio got elected. I've got my own theory about that one. Brian mentioned that he's got strong powers of persuasion. That's true, but it goes a little bit further than that. He has these strange, he basically went to all of his opponents' supporters and basically stole their lines from them. For example, he went to Christine Quinn fans and said, "You want to vote for somebody who's married to a lesbian? I'm married to a lesbian." He went to Billy Thompson's fans and said, "You want to vote for somebody with 2 black kids? I have 2 black kids." He went to Anthony Weiner supporters and said, "You want proof that I'm packing down here? Did I mention my wife is a former lesbian?" Ladies and gentlemen, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Let's see. Hillary Clinton is back in the news. Got you? Yeah, please. Hillary fans here. What was that? What was it? What did you say? Hillary's back in the news. Did anybody catch her interview yesterday on ABC? Poor Hillary. Yes, she talked about how much she struggled after she left the White House. They didn't have any money. They were broke. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, what I thought was most interesting about that interview was not what she said. I mean, within the interview with Diane, but I thought it was interesting about how ABC scheduled it. It came. This is absolutely true. It came on right after The Bachelorette and right before Mistresses. So it kind of looked like Bill Clinton's basic schedule if they get back into the White House. He'll hang out with The Bachelorettes in the morning, have lunch with Hillary in the afternoon, and then hook up with the Mistresses at night. I think we've got something here. Anyway, let's see, what else is going on? It's been it's been 13 years since 9/11, and not to get too deep here, but there's still a lot of tension in New York where Muslims still feel that they are they're the new blacks because they are sort of profiled and oppressed and viewed suspiciously. The only problem I have with this idea of them as the new blacks is they still manage to avoid my old black ass when I'm trying to, flag them down in their new yellow cabs. Assalamu alaikum, my brother, please. That's not fair. So, it's a nice looking group we've got out here.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew you noticed me.
Yes, my friend Dan over here. He's like, Daniel, great man, great. He brings his own chair with him wherever he goes. This man is in a wheelchair, a very good friend of mine. So he and I, we've known each other for many, many years. We're good friends. In fact, we're in rival groups, as a matter of fact. I'm in the Bloods, he's in the Crips. Oh, it's okay. You can laugh at these kind of things. We actually met at this conference out in Colorado, which is actually partially hosted by the lovely lady that Dan is sitting right next to, Jane over there, in Boulder, Colorado. Boulder is a great city, which is so liberal, it makes the Upper West Side seem like rural Mississippi. And I'm going to tell you a true story, because true stories are always the funniest things. The very first year that I went out to this great conference on world affairs in Boulder, at the end of the week, Jane throws this fantastic party. Anyway, I get dropped off at the corner by one of the students because I wasn't quite sure exactly where the house is. And I'm walking up the street, and I guess it's a neighbor of Jane's, is walking down the other side of the street with her dog. And I'm walking up this way, and she's walking this way, and she hears the music coming from the house, and she sees all of these cars parked in front of the house. And she looks at the house, hears the music, looks at the cars, looks at me, looks back at the house, cars, me, and she says, "Is there an Obama fundraiser going on in there?" True story, absolutely true story. Let me see. Oh my goodness, I am getting the light. So let me kind of finish up on this. This is a little bit kind of serious, so please bear with me. Please bear with me here. When I introduced myself as a Catholic West Indian Black Republican, I almost thought about throwing gay in the middle of there because, it's kind of the in thing. But I didn't want to be too greedy. I thought it would be a little bit too hard to swallow. But in fact, the truth is, I'm kind of conflicted on the whole issue of gay marriage. Because, look, it's great for those people who want to get hitched, but I think there are certain consequences or, possibilities about marriage that people have not been thinking about enough. For example, and again, this is a hypothetical. Let's just say there are certain men of a certain age, who, let's put it this way, maybe they're just, sick and tired of, their mothers asking them when they're going to get married. So it's kind of possible that they might have that conversation with their mom where they finally drop the nuclear bomb and say, "Mom, it's not going to happen because I'm gay." Hypothetically speaking, maybe Mom, understands it because, maybe your slightly felonious sister, actually did something right and came out with a kid. So Mom's got a grandkid, so she's accepting of it. Then a couple of years go by, and for some reason, New York decides to pass gay marriage. Not 3 hours go by after New York has passed gay marriage, and the phone rings, and Mom's on the phone, and she says, "I just heard the news, and you've got to come and meet my hairstylist." No, no, that's not going to happen. Wait, no, before you look, he's not just a hairstylist, he owns the salon, he's an entrepreneur. You Republicans love entrepreneurs, don't you? Anyway. And that, marriage equality may be great for the gays, but it just ruined my life. Hypothetically speaking, of course. Hypothetically. Anyway, my name is Robert George. You've all been very great. Thank you all very much.